This is a very short video about the three certainties. So the first question you want to ask yourself is whether there is a duty to distribute. So is it that the trustee may make a particular distribution, or do they actually have to? If they have to, then you're dealing with a trust. If they don't have to, you're dealing with a power. But either way, you need to satisfy the three certainties. And those are, of course, certainty of intention. Is there an intention to create a trust or power? That means, is there an intention to create legal relations in the first place? And then is the form of that legal relations a trust rather than, for example, a gift? Subject matter. Is it possible to identify the subject matter of the trust or power? Or is it, for example, part of a larger mass of unidentified individual objects? Then certainty of object. Now, certainty of object can be the most difficult one, partly because there are 5 different types, the first of which is conceptual certainty of object. Now, remember that there are 2 different tests for conceptual certainty of object. The first is that you need a complete list, and that's for fixed trusts. The second is the is or is not test, and that is for discretionary trusts and it's for powers. But remember that the dividing line isn't just between discretionary trusts and fixed trusts. If you have a discretionary trust where there is a discretion as to the amount, but nevertheless there is an obligation to give some to every single person in the class, you still need a complete list. Next, you have evidential certainty. Even if the concept is certain, is it possible to show as a matter of evidence that an individual actually meets the criteria? Next, ascertainability. Is it possible to find your beneficiaries? Ascertainability never defeats the trust. You can either pay the money into court or make a Benjamin order if you can't find your beneficiaries. Capriciousness. Is the trust a sensible one, or is it, for example, a trust for people with red hair? And then administrative workability, and that is the group so large, as so hopelessly wide as not to form anything like a class, or can you say that there is a class, even if it is a large one, for a particular identified group of people? So, for certainty of object, you have conceptual certainty, evidential certainty, ascertainability, capriciousness, and administrative workability. It is unclear whether capriciousness and administrative workability apply to powers just as they apply to trusts, but it seems that after the alignment of remedies in powers with discretionary trusts in Metoi pensions, that probably a power does have to meet the requirements of capriciousness and administrative workability. When you're dealing with the test for conceptual certainty of object and you're applying the is or is not test, don't forget that there are 3 different manifestations of that test, and they are Stamp, Megaw, and Sachs in Baden. And for Stamp, you do need to show that of every individual coming forward that they definitely do or definitely don't fall within the class. So you need to be able to say yes or no of any person coming forward. For Megaw, you just need to be able to do that of a substantial number of people. And for Sachs, if an individual can't prove that they're in the class, they fall outside of it, but that doesn't necessarily defeat the class.